Good day. Today's lecture is devoted to the usage of computer technologies in teaching foreign language. This topic is especially important because foreign language instruction requires constant practice, immediate feedback, authentic communication, and sustained learner motivation. Under such conditions, computer technologies offer not merely technical support, but a substantial pedagogical resource. Accordingly, they should be considered as instruments that extend the possibilities of language teaching, strengthen individualization, and improve the overall quality of the learning process. At the outset, the lecture defines two principal aims. First, it seeks to assist students in mastering grammatical phenomena through technological practice. Second, it examines the broader expansion of computer technologies into education and, more specifically, into foreign language teaching. The lecture plan follows this logic. It begins with the use of computer technologies in foreign language instruction, and then turns to electronic publications in education. Thus, the discussion moves from the practical application of digital tools to the wider pedagogical environment in which these tools operate. This slide emphasizes that information technologies are constantly evolving, and as a result, the range of electronic publications continues to expand. Importantly, electronic and printed materials should not be seen as competitors. On the contrary, they complement one another and are most effective when used in balanced combination. Several characteristics deserve particular attention. Electronic resources are continuously renewed, widely available, and in many cases adaptive. Unlike print materials, they can respond to student performance and adjust subsequent content accordingly. Therefore, electronic publications introduce flexibility and pedagogical responsiveness that traditional materials alone cannot fully provide. The slide identifies several important types of programs used in foreign language teaching. Transcription programs save time and support pronunciation work across different stages of learning. Pronunciation practice tools allow students to compare their own voice with native speaker models. Grammar programs provide structured practice together with immediate corrective feedback. Virtual communication tools create opportunities for real interaction through online platforms. Finally, adaptive programs ensure that students continue working until genuine mastery is achieved. Taken together, these programs demonstrate that computer technology can support phonetics, grammar, communication, and individual progression within one integrated learning environment. Even in a technology-rich environment, the teacher remains central. Indeed, the slide stresses that it is the teacher who helps students navigate the enormous variety of digital resources and select those that are pedagogically appropriate. In this regard, the teacher acts as guide, material processor, builder of communicative competence, and creative facilitator. This is a crucial point. Technology does not reduce the importance of the teacher. Rather, it makes the teacher's role more intellectually demanding. The teacher must search, structure, adapt, and model material according to the goals of the lesson. Consequently, professional judgment becomes even more valuable in digitally supported language teaching. The next slide makes an important methodological claim. The fundamental principles of the educational process are preserved and in many cases enhanced in computerized learning. Among these principles are scientific character, creativity, accessibility, clarity, and attention to individual characteristics. This means that computer technologies should not be understood as breaking with pedagogy. Rather, they strengthen pedagogical principles through new means. Content becomes clearer through visual and audio support, individualization becomes more fully realizable, and creative active engagement becomes easier to organize. Therefore, digital learning does not abolish educational laws. It gives them broader expression. The Internet occupies a particularly important place in foreign language teaching because, by its didactic capabilities, it allows students to practice all four types of speech: activity listening, speaking, reading, and writing. This makes it a uniquely comprehensive educational resource. In addition, the Internet provides access to communicative services, authentic information resources, regional geography material, international projects, lexical grammatical resources, and continuous feedback mechanisms. Consequently, it supports not only language acquisition in the narrow sense, but also the broader development of communicative and socio-cultural competence. Grammar practice through computer technology is one of the clearest examples of pedagogical benefit. As the slide explains, many programs operate in feedback mode. The task is not considered complete until the student produces a correct answer. This principle is highly important because it prevents superficial progression and ensures real comprehension before further advancement. Moreover, these programs provide immediate error correction, adaptive difficulty, and repeated practice in a non-threatening environment. As a result, grammar learning becomes more individualized, less stressful, and more effective. Thus, technology supports not only accuracy, but also confidence in language use. This slide turns to motivation, which is one of the most decisive factors in language learning. Computer technologies enhance interest by offering richer information capacity, increasing cognitive activity, and creating communication situations that are more personally meaningful for students. Equally significant is the fact that digital tools can make the learning process more enjoyable without diminishing its seriousness. Students gain pleasure from visible progress, immediate results, and interactive formats. Therefore, the motivational value of technology lies not in novelty alone, but in its ability to make effort more engaging and progress more tangible. The slide presents a strong but justified claim. The use of computers represents not merely a step, but a leap in the history of educational development, particularly in foreign language teaching. This statement becomes understandable when one considers what computerization makes possible: new paths of intellectual development, wider and faster access to information, the creation of linguistic environments. In this sense, computerization changes not only educational tools, but the range of pedagogical tasks that can realistically be solved. Accordingly, it should be seen as a transformation in educational capacity rather than as a simple technical improvement. A central advantage of computer technologies in foreign language teaching is their ability to support all four speech activities within one integrated environment. Listening can be developed through podcasts, video lectures, and teleconferences. Speaking becomes possible through voice recording, internet telephony, and video conferencing. Reading is strengthened through online texts, articles, and digital libraries. Writing is practiced through email, online projects, and various digital tasks. Therefore, technology supports a comprehensive model of language learning. It does not isolate one skill from another, rather it creates conditions in which all four may develop in parallel and in meaningful relation. The slide rightly emphasizes that one of the major tasks of the foreign language teacher is the formation of communicative competence, which in turn supports socio-cultural competence. Digital resources are particularly effective here because they provide access to authentic language, cultural material, and real community situations. Regional geography content, authentic teaching technologies, opportunities for the teacher's own language development, multimedia textbooks, and international online projects all contribute to this goal. Consequently, language learning becomes inseparable from cultural understanding, which is essential for meaningful foreign language education. The role of the World Wide Web in learning continues to grow, and the slide explains why this trend is pedagogically justified. The web offers nearly unlimited lexical, grammatical, spelling, and audiovisual resources. It also supports systematic work, feedback, and the effective functioning of the principle of knowledge, skills, and abilities assimilation. Moreover, search engines and information catalogs have become part of everyday foreign language teaching practice. As a result, students gain quicker, broader, and more motivating access to educational material. Thus, the World Wide Web is not merely a source of information, but a dynamic environment for structured and purposeful language learning. The conclusion of the lecture is well balanced. Computer technologies enhance student motivation, improve the quality of teaching, and make the learning process more productive and enjoyable. At the same time, the best educational result emerges not from technology alone, but from the combination of technology and teacher guidance. The slide also highlights four particularly important final points. Technology supports rather than replaces the teacher. All fundamental learning principles are preserved and strengthened. All four speech skills may be developed through digital means. And well-integrated technology encourages students toward autonomy and self-education. Therefore, the true pedagogical value of computer technologies lies in their thoughtful and purposeful integration into foreign language instruction. Thank you for your attention. I hope this lecture has clarified the pedagogical significance of computer technologies in teaching foreign language and has shown how they may strengthen motivation, individualization, and communicative development when used in a methodologically sound way.